So everybody knows Stratum at this point. We've been chatting and putting out quite a bit of content, but I thought we should backtrack and we got Aaron and Ryan. Aaron is our chief evangelist and Ryan is our chief executive officer here at Stratum. And I thought we should probably take a moment and step back and talk about Stratum's why and how things started and how things began. So who wants to tackle it first? Like, how did you two meet and how did the whole concept of Stratum start?
Sure, I can tackle that one. So Aaron and I actually met at a previous company called Nimbo, which was acquired back in 2015 by Equinix. Had a very similar business model. I was the VP of sales. He was the VP of technology. But Nimbo really only focused on advisory services. And, you know, Aaron and I were chatting about what do customers look for? It's not just someone to implement it and get out. A lot of customers are looking for more than just thought leadership. They're looking for someone to help with early stage adoption and training, educate on certain platforms and services. They're helping you to actually do the work, do the projects, get those deployments and modernization efforts up in the cloud. But then they also want you to stick around in a lot of cases too, whether that's in an ongoing break fix scenario, that's to help them with things like patch management, or just have a bucket of hours where they can call you whenever they have problems, or they want you to help with thought leadership around things like M&A or divestitures, or what's the future of cloud going. So we thought that was a huge opportunity and certainly something that customers have asked for and continue to do so. So that's how we got here. So after the Nimbo acquisition, he and I broke off and started to lay the groundwork for what was going to become Stratum, and started to get all the infrastructure, you know, certain offices, certain select skill sets to have in place before you can even go and pitch to a customer. When you build a business like this, you have to have a pretty good size investment to get off the ground. So you need to have those people in place with the right skill sets, with the right technology already plumbed out, so to speak. So that's how we got here. And we spent about 9 months doing that. To really get this in place before we started to actively pursue customers and have those conversations.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So when you're starting a company like this, where do you even start? I mean, it had to have been pretty daunting, and I'm guessing that there was probably quite a bit of traveling involved as you're doing a lot of face-to-faces.
And I'll take that one. I think the answer revolves more around relationships probably than anything else. When you start to build a company like this, build something that's dependent upon people, and make no mistake, this is the people are the most important thing that you can find inside of an organization like Stratum. The relationships are vital. Relationships that Ryan had developed in New York, the relationships that I'd had through my career. Relationships were vital to getting this off the ground. We have partners, whether it was AWS, Amazon, or Google. There were some, reseller partners. There's customers. You have to, exercise those relationships, and it was a lot of travel, because if you think back to 2015, and kind of look at the world from 2015's point of view. I think I had, platinum status on one airline for each of 2015, 2016, and 2017, and 2018. And thankfully now it's a little bit less travel since then. But you got to go. You have to introduce yourself. You have to help customers and grow a relationship with a customer. And, from going from nothing, you got to start from there. So.
Yeah. So, you talk about building those relationships. Did you typically, let's talk about the relationships at home. How did your family and the people around you think of this whole endeavor when you're jumping into this type of thing?
Well, from my point of view, I'd been traveling for years. I had started when I was an MCS, Microsoft Consulting Services consultant, in 2007. So since 2007, I had been doing usually about 150 to 200 nights a year on the road. One year was really bad. I'd taken my country on a expat experience overseas, living in Middle East for a year and about 2 years. And it was just an extension of my career. And I mean, I have an incredible wife who understands that it's not for everyone. From when they asked, why are you doing this? It's like, I kind of came at it from the perspective of, I want to help customers do cloud their way, not the way that some vendor tells them they have to do it. The greatest solutions I've seen of how you can leverage cloud solutions to solve a business problem don't come from vendors. They come from customers. They come from the people who are interacting with it every day that are trying to solve business problems. And coming from that point of view, we help customers do that. And that was really our first 2 years, was help them move to a cloud environment that they understood the paradigm shift from, this is a VM in VMware, now this is a VM in Azure instance, or this is an EC2 instance in AWS, and making that paradigm shift in training and trusted advisor status. So,
how about you, Ryan? How about your support system? How did that go down for you?
Very similar to Aaron in a lot of ways, but also very different. At the time, I had been dating my wife, but we were not engaged. We were not married, had no kids. I spent probably the first 5 months of the business on the road, similar to Aaron, 15 to 20 days a month. I mean, we would go all across the tri-state in the New York area. We'd be in Tennessee, we'd be in Florida, Georgia, Alabama, Texas. I mean, we went everywhere. We did quite a bit with private equity firms, helping their portfolio companies with modernization efforts to streamline operations, create new products, move to the cloud, help them reduce cost, and do a lot of really powerful synergies and integrations so they could then package these up for IPO or for recapitalization. So we really made a living being on the road, helping those portfolio companies. But I mean, I had a very supportive girlfriend at the time, now my wife. And for us, it was really something that we helped build together. But I got a ton of pushback from a lot of really close friends that I used as fuel. I mean, they would say, I had equity at Nimbo. We sold Nimbo. They said, you're going to leave. You've got this great gig that you're now at this very powerful company. And you look at Equinix's stock and it's on fire, and it has been for some time. But they looked at me and said, you're an idiot. You could ride this wave for quite some time. And that just didn't appeal to me. I wanted to be able to build something just as I did with Nimbo, help shift culture and drive customers to be in really the forefront of new cloud technologies. And so it wasn't that Equinix wasn't going to be a great place. I've got people in my network that love it there. They've been there for 7 years. And so I think it's a great place to work. But I just thought that me and Aaron could build something with a lot of a really strong skill set of engineers, architects that we could build something with. And I was willing to take that risk because I knew Aaron's work ethic. I knew the people that we were going to recruit, we were going to train, we were going to invest in. They were going to feed off that energy. And so I think it's really been kind of twofold. I've got a great support system at home. I've used the fuel of doubters or people that told me I should have just stayed put. And then also the people that we've got at Stratum. I mean, everyone really challenges me every day because in a lot of ways, they're the ones that are in the trenches now on the forefront of those new technologies. It's not me, I'm in the business, but it's really cool to see now that we've grown to this size that there's now another, I don't want to say generation of Stratumites, but there's a whole new team now that are kind of learning this for the first time and learning from people like Aaron and other thought leaders at Stratum.
Thank you for watching Stratum's Cloud Interrupted. If you like what you see, please subscribe, like, and share this video.